Good morning, everyone. What's happening? All right. So let's try this. What O does. Oh, it does work. That is crazy. Didn't even know that. What's up, Acro Killer? Larry, Slack Tide Reefer, good morning, good morning, good morning. Mr. Warren C., what up? How's that tank coming along? Larry James. Let's see here. Carlos! What's up, Carlos? My man. Long time no see, buddy. Phil, what's happening? Unorthodox, what's up? What's up? Man, I saw all that stuff you found in your mixing barrel. That's pretty freaking crazy. So, all right. Yeah, and we definitely should be checking our mixing barrels, on the regular when we
What did he find?
uh, big chunks of rust or
Ooh.
metal.
Oh, unorthodox reef?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was definitely iron because it stuck to his magnet. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. He noticed his barrel was getting all brown, and yeah, when he was cleaning out.
Dosing that stuff to the tank. Damn.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
he didn't have any problems though,
Oh,
and then that's but he saw that there was a problem, and he went to investigate, which is great.
hmm that's what you need more than anything. A curious mind.
Yeah. So, all
Uh,
right.
Wait, there's a question. Hey, you know what? I really should start posting. Last week, I got 3 buckets of instant ocean salt from Petco, $85 including tax. Three $80. What are you looking
Yeah.
at me for?
No, because people. It's funny. I still see people complaining about salt,
Oh,
about the price of salt, and it just cracks me up. That's a great solution.
not
So
not saying you guys should do this, but you can sign up for the auto delivery and you can save 35% immediately, and then tell them deliver the next bucket. You want it delivered in 2 years is the auto delivery, and then in 2 years you just cancel that. No, this wasn't auto ship. Oh, I used auto ship last time, so I'm not eligible for auto ship discount again. Like
gotcha.
ask Greg. There is something called the Petco reward. Listen,
Vitacare.
Vitacare, guys.
Yeah.
I love. If you ask me what salt I could use, it'd probably be Brightwell or HW Marine. But when I buy Instant Ocean, I can do more water changes, which I think is more beneficial than using the perfect salt.
Right.
So using Instant
Hey,
Ocean,
did you get in on the HW Marine salt deal that they had
no.
when it went on sale?
What I
It
should
went
have
on
done is,
sale. Hold on. It went on sale for $62.
Greg,
That's
that's not what I
the
missed out on.
same price it's gone on sale for the last damn near decade. Yeah, I don't know that it's ever been any cheaper than that. That's about the price that it goes. $60 is about the price it goes to. So
Greg, when BRS was having the clearance sale a couple weeks ago, I was tardy, but you could get the Aquaforest salt for what was it, $22?
oh wow, that's crazy.
And I didn't. I kept like, should I do this? I kept asking, and by the time I made the decision, it was too late. It was gone. But yeah,
Yeah,
$22.
yeah, pretty crazy. What's up, Matt?
Good morning. Good morning.
How
Yeah.
you doing?
What what are we talking about? Salt? What?
No, that just was what came up.
Yeah.
That's just what came up.
We
Unorthodox Reef was cleaning his mixing barrel and found some contaminants. It doubtful that it came in the salt, but he has no idea where it came from.
From the new salt he's got, or from
piece.
old salt?
No. It didn't come from the salt. I mean, he would have seen it. Whatever this was, these pieces were big enough. He would have seen them dumping them when he was pouring in the salt. So he just doesn't know where it came from. But Larry James is asking any thoughts on the Hydros launch. I think it's a great starting controller for the Hydros brand. If you're gonna first product to get, I think it is the first product to get.
When's Maven coming out?
Soon. It should be in the next month or two. At Reefapalooza, I'm sure I'll get a chance to get a more firm date. We'll see, where they're at on that. So,
Greg, Warren C has a question here. Do y'all use cups to measure the salt or weigh it? I've never done that. I just put cups in and then measure the salinity, but I keep a mental note. Like my bucket, I know it takes, when I fill it to a float valve, I know it takes 7 cups of salt to get me almost where I'm going. And then the last little bit, I just eke it in until I get it to where I go. But I don't weigh it. Do you go that? Are you that precise?
Huh?
Are you that precise when you're measuring your salt? Like I'm weighing 2 pounds and 2 pounds in 50 gallons, or do you just eyeball the cups? Yeah.
I just freaking pour and pour and pour, and then I'll test. Let it mix for an hour. I'll test, and then I'll pour more, and then I'll test, and I keep adding more until it's right. I mean, and sometimes I overshoot it, and I have to drain some into a jug, and then add some more fresh water. I mean, I don't.
But you kind of eyeball it because you've been doing it so long. You kind of
You're
doing it in the
I can get to 20. I can get to 20 easy, and then from there I just keep adding. Yeah, see, I don't mix salt to use right away. I mix salt for next month, 2 months down the road.
Yeah, I don't.
My salt sits.
Have that. I don't have that option.
I always have salt on hand, so salt water on hand. So as soon as I do a water change, I fill that thing up and make more.
Yeah, I do too, but I always have 30 gallons on hand. But I have the ability with which I break out the buckets and everything. I can do a 100% water change over the course of 24 hours. So I know if an emergency, I have a 30-gallon mixing container, and then I have 5-gallon buckets to get that up to 80 gallons and mix them to get that up to about 80 gallons. Right. So I can fill that in a day, take out half the tank, drain it, make sure the corals are covered, and then refill everything and mix. So I've done it before where I've done 100% over the course of 24 hours, but that's fine with me, man.
You don't have the ability to, you don't have water storage?
I don't have the room.
That's true. Okay.
But I've also never needed to do an emergency water change. What do you guys do that causes that?
No, not an emergency water change. Just when I
get that's ready. What O just said. 100% water
for me. For me,
that's him.
Me. But I just have 30 gallons, man, and the rest are just empty Instant Ocean buckets that I save. Like on my fire escape, I just have a stack of Instant Ocean buckets hanging off in a corner that I then bring in and just, it's all right. It's not shade. O screws up enough where he needs to do 100% water changes. Like, that's all right. Listen, man, there's no shame in my game.
I'm just saying, I didn't know what you messed up that you would need to do 100% water change.
Hey, whenever my tank isn't doing well and I can't identify what it is on an ICP test, guess what I go to? Water changes. And that's why we started the conversation by saying I like Instant Ocean because it's cheap, because then I don't have to think about the cost. I don't have to think and say, I'm going to spend $250 to do a water change because I'm using Tropic Marin. 80 gallons Instant Ocean. I just got 3 buckets for $80. Like, I'm living the dream, man. It's cheap and I can do it.
Last time I tried Instant Ocean, I got the regular purple bucket. That shit mixed at 12.5 on the DKH on the ALK, and it was extremely dirty.
Yeah, it's gonna be dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the
No,
cleanest salt.
it was dirty, like a half an inch of brown shit in the barrel.
Yeah.
Did you do reef
about
crystals
that.
or well? Listen,
No, that was the
it's
regular Instant Ocean.
if
It mixed it. I rolled the bucket around to make sure it hadn't, separated. I did 3 different alkalinity tests: Hanna, Salifert, Aquaforce. They all said 12.5
no,
DKH. I'm like,
that's correct. That's correct. But if my tank isn't doing well, I think that mine goes up to 10 or 11, but I think the 10 DKH is fine compared to something that's killing something. But I've never seen a negative effect from 100% water change ever.
but
And I just did it 2 weeks ago. I don't care if the DKH ended up being mine ended up being 11 after, but guess what? The tank looked better and it stabilized. So I hear what you're saying. I think people worry too much about that type of stuff because if it comes up where things are dying and stripping and you need to do a water change, I think the 11 DKH is the least of our problems.
I'm against storing salt water. I used to, but I'm completely against it now because now think about this real quick, right? You mix salt water, then you let it sit, right? Mixing out there. You know, so bacteria has ways to getting into everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got all kinds of then you got dust settling from the house, you got like all kinds of other things, fumes and things, you never know what's inside your house, right? Like when you're cleaning.
Right.
So to me, it's so easy to just make 20 gallons really quick,
Right.
with a
Now,
RODI unit.
that's a good point. Now, my question to you is, how do you keep that stuff out of your tank?
What stuff out of my tank? Well, yes.
The dust,
Yeah.
all that stuff you're worried about getting in the water.
But
In
the tank has filtration. The tank has things to be able to manage that stuff. The mixing container doesn't.
You're
I'm
right.
putting it in the
And
tank.
I will tell you.
Huh?
Go ahead, O.
No, I said I hear you. I just keep it covered. That's not a word for me. But I just one thing before Greg. We're using the word salt here. We have to realize that depending on what salt you use, because if you use like reef crystals and try to store it, that's where you get like a quarter-inch of crud on the bottom because all of that. If you use certain
Because it
salts and you don't mix them,
precipitates bad.
yeah, you don't
Yeah,
mix
some
them
salts
properly.
precipitate bad.
Yeah, so yeah.
So I will tell you, I used to, when I was my previous tank in the hobby, when I used to do water changes out of those 30-gallon brute containers, and I was using the was it D&D salt, and it had organics in it or whatever it was. It would cause a brown film, and literally while I was pumping the water into the tank, I had a brush and I was scrubbing the brush to clean my thing while I was pumping the water into the tank to clean the barrel or the trash can. And guess what? The corals looked amazing when I did that for like the first hour or two as they filter fed off of whatever that crap was. Figured if they put it in the bucket, it was designed to be in my tank, I guess. So I don't know. I don't worry about those kind of things, partially because I have a humongous skimmer. So if I do a water change and I pour it in, the filter's going to catch that stuff. The corals are going to catch that stuff. Corals do eat bacteria. So
Yeah.
not.
Man, I've been having, that's why I was talking to an Orthodox Reef just a few minutes ago. Every time I've been doing a water change now with Tropic Marine, I know it's nothing to worry about, but it kind of gives me this little warm and fuzzy when I do a water change and I see my ORP drop significantly every time.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it didn't happen before with any other salt mix that I was using. But every time I do it, man, it drops like 100 and something. Like
my ORP, no matter what I do, never drops.
See, what salt you using?
No, it's the fact that I don't have an ORP probe.
Ah.
I was gonna
I mean, I
say I
have
don't run
one. It's
one
in
either.
the box somewhere.
Hey,
But
but you know what, Greg? I think it's one of the greatest tools to have. You know why? I
it,
had an issue.
it'll
Remember, I
definitely
think
tell
I
you
talked to
water
you.
quality.
Well, no. For emergencies, right? I was at work years ago, and my son accidentally dropped. I had a quarantine tank about 10 feet away from the tank, and I had a bottle of Cupramine. And while I was at work, my son, when he was little, he grabbed that bottle, and because he sees me working on the tank and things like that, he dumped it in my son. Now I was at work, and I always used to keep my Fusion on my screen, and my ORP went from normal to completely like barely anything. And I was like, oh crap, what the hell happened? So when I called my wife, she said, hey, he was missing with some blue liquid. I was like, bah, immediately, I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And so just things like that, it will save you and actually save my tank because I hold home, picked up some Cuprisorb and polyfilter and just start doing water change right away. And yeah, all the corals lost the Susan algae and they all bleached out, but the tank bounced back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, things like that happen, especially with kids, man.
Yeah.
So luckily, I had girls, and girls weren't ever curious. My kids never opened cabinets doors and looked inside things. We had my wife did give them a cabinet in the kitchen with like a bunch of Tupperware that they could go into and play with the stuff, but they never were curious on anything else. They never went anywhere, and I think that might just be that girls aren't as curious. Boys are, boys have that in them where they are like, hey, what if I do this? I wonder what's going to happen. Girls
That's
don't
why
have that.
that's why there's warning labels on everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Warning
like I
labels for
said,
boys.
it's a tool, man. I think it's a great tool to have just for that. Not to worry about, what you see daily on it, but if you see a significant drop, then something happened.
Not needed.
Exactly.
It's
So,
not needed. It's just helpful.
yeah. Well, guys, thank you all for joining in today. It's time for me to head on into work. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok. We're
Oh
now
god.
on TikTok. We're not doing live streams at the moment, but Acro Killer's doing live streams on TikTok, so you can check him out on some of the live streams. But me and O are also on TikTok now, so give us a follow. All right, guys, have a great week. We'll see you maybe tomorrow.
See you.
All right,
Tomorrow's longer stream, right? Or later?
possible. Yes, later.
What time does it start tomorrow?
Now, around now.
Oh, okay.